Look at you. That's the thing. Look at you. Look around. Look at Ron. Canada is in the room. Look at him. People from every land, from every religion, from every background, all together in one room because you love your country. You're either I don't think you're feeling very ethnic tonight. I don't think you're not feeling very ethnic tonight. You're feeling very Canadian tonight. Now, I want to make sure one thing now. Let's be very sure here. Did anybody check your identity cards when you came in? Anybody check your Facebook page? All right, you're in a Liberal rally. It's so good to see you. So good to see you. We're going to do politics the old-fashioned way tonight. We're going to show the other parties how you do it. I'm going to stand here and you're going to ask me questions, and if you don't like my answers, you go somewhere else. That's how it works. No, I'm serious. I'm not an entertainer. I'm not a comedian. That's what we need to understand. I have to be here. I have to be here. I have to answer your questions to the best of my ability. And if you don't like the answers, you go somewhere else where you get an answer you like better. That's what they call democracy. That's how it works. I'd just like to say we've got a wonderful competition going on in Canada at the moment, because every night I go out to these rallies and I think, that is the biggest crowd I ever saw. And then each night it gets bigger and bigger. You did pretty well tonight, Brampton. All right. I know how, for everyone in this room, family means a great deal to every one of you. And I just wanted to say that this is a very special room for me because a member of my family is here. The guy who I grew up with, the guy who I turn to every time I'm in a jam, the guy who's never let me down, my brother Henry. And I want to introduce my wife, Susanna, who's here. Stand up. You'll be relieved to know she is quality control. Nothing gets out of hand when she's in the room. So there we are. Now there's one other thing. This is a Liberal rally, but I want to make it as clear as I can that if you vote for other parties, the NDP or the Conservatives or the Green, we bid you a warm and respectful welcome. We are delighted that you are in the room tonight. Thank you. There you go. Having this election in the first place? We need to answer that question. Mr. Harper keeps saying this is an unnecessary election. I've never heard of an election more necessary than this one in my life. We're here. Let's be clear what the choices are here. We're here not, an election is not about choosing which party you like to have best in opposition, which opposition party you like. This is a choice of government. What is the next government of Canada going to be? Liberal! Monsieur Duceppe gets up and he said in the debate, it was very funny, what I have to offer for Quebec, my grand vision for Quebec, is a minority Conservative government. I didn't think that was too appealing myself. Ce que j'offre aux Québécois, c'est un gouvernement minoritaire conservateur. C'est ça que dit M. Duceppe. C'est pas très excitant, no? So, then Mr. Layton says he wants to be the government of Canada. The problem is, and I say this with respect to supporters of the NDP has never formed a federal government in Canada in all its history. And Mr. Layton it kind of shows, because if you look closely at the platform, and I take Mr. Layton very seriously, but if you take him very seriously, you've got to look at the platform. You got to see whether it adds up. Folks, the numbers don't add up. They really don't add up. This man is serious about trying to propose an alternative to the government of Canada, then it's got to be a serious alternative. And this, folks, is what a serious alternative looks like. This is a serious alternative. This is a serious alternative. And by serious, a platform where the numbers add up, where we can tell our fellow citizens as we go to the door what every single promise will cost and how we will pay for it. If we're going to say to Canadians, and we're the only party out there saying, we want to have every family have access to a learning passport. It's the thing that excites me most about this platform. A learning passport. So that every single family that wants to send their kids to college or university, all they have to do is open a registered savings account, and a Liberal government will put $4,000 into every account for every student, so that we can say something we've always longed to say. If you get the grades, you get to go. And if you have to take time off looking after a loved one who gets sick in the home, we'll let you take 6 months off compassionate leave, and we'll throw in $1,350 to help you look after your loved ones at home. That's what it means to care about a family. That's what it means to stand for a family. And if you believe in family, then you want to make sure that every family that needs it gets early learning and childcare for every family, every child in Canada. That's what we mean. These are the kind of commitments we made. And then we've said, because we have it in our bones in this party, a passionate, unwavering commitment to universal public health care for all citizens. And I have said, people say, well, we can get to that in 2014. And we're saying, we get a government on the 2nd of May, and the first 60 days we'll convene a conference of the prime ministers of the country, the leaders of all the provinces and territories, and we'll sit down right there by the end of the summer and talk about how to save and reform and invest in our public health care system. And we're the only party saying that. When people say to us, well, how are you going to pay for that, Mr. Ignatieff? Nice, fine promises. How are we going to pay for that? Times are tough out there. You know times are tough. I cannot raise the taxes on Canadian families. It's too tough and it's too tight out there. So how are you going to pay for it, Mr. Ignatieff? We're going to peg the corporate tax rate at 18%. Here's the deal. Here's the situation. We've got banks, insurance companies, and all companies. They are doing just fine. The people who need help are the families of Canada. It's time to choose. But that's what it means to be serious in politics. You make a promise, you cost it, you tell the people how you're going to pay for it, you deliver it in the first budget of a Liberal government. So we're in the business of choosing a government on the 2nd of May, and everybody in this room understands that. A government. By the way, folks, it's not the Harper government, it's the government of Canada.